Okay, so today we're going to be going over an ancient MacBook Air, not the original one. You will never see a recording of the original MacBook Air on this channel unless I am bashing it with a hammer, but you're going to see a recording of the 2010 MacBook Air, no backlight, and this is one that kind of, it seems like they made it obvious what's going on here. So somebody did half of the job of giving me an idea of where to look, but then never actually finished whatever it was they were doing. Which, whatever, that's fine. If they finished what they were doing, then I wouldn't be sitting here getting paid. So, nothing, nothing wrong with that. So you see how there are these little probe points in different areas of the board, like this, and you see how the probe points will then go to these little traces that will then go to chips. So here we have a probe point, and here we have a trace, and then that's going to the pad, and the pad is what the chip is soldered to. Now, the same thing is happening over here, except this is supposed to go to that. And the way I can tell that is by looking at the board view over here. So let's scroll over to where that component is and what it is we're looking at. Now, if you go over here, let's click and make that happen. Whoops, that's me. I don't want you to see me. I want you to see that. Awesome. All right, so that's the resistor. And over here it says LCD backlight enable L. Over here it says backlight platform. LCD backlight enable L over here. Then when you click on the resistor, it says LCD backlight enable L over here. And you can see that this is missing or covered in a pile of whatever who the fuck knows what that I'm not even going to get into. But what I am going to do is I'm going to run a wire between here and here, between here and here, here and here. And just to give you some context of what that is on the schematic. Let's go. Damn, this is the old schematic before they had the backlight circuit all in one page. So that's where R9809 attaches to here. Man. Alright, so let me get my soldering equipment ready. Turn on the loud stuff, the air filter, the noisy stuff that I enjoy using because I don't like breathing this stuff. And from here we get started. So. Can you see me? Oh no, you can't see me. Now you can see me. Don't know what the fuck all this shit is about over here. Okay. Now let's get a wire going. This is frustrating. Like, of all the jobs to get in the world and to be good at, or to have to rely on for a living, why is it something that requires steady hands? Looks like a bird just pooped over there. That's gonna have to get cleaned. Also, I didn't get any water on it. Then why doesn't it work? I didn't get any water on it. Then why doesn't it work? I didn't get any. The fuck you did. People are liars. People are mostly liars. When it comes to this stuff, everybody lies. And like Mother Teresa would probably lie about whether she spilled water on her MacBook. I mean, really. Everybody lies. So just don't believe anybody. And it's not because they're being mean. It's just because people, they think that if they believe their own lie, that it becomes true. That if they don't believe that what they did was serious, then it's magically not serious. Like the rest of the world doesn't exist. It's one of these defense mechanisms that people use. And they just think that everything will be okay if they just believe everything will be okay. That's what we're taught for, Yikes. Anyway, I'm sure that'll be fine. That's what we're taught as kids. You know. Kind of curious what that shit is now. Is that a probe point that's for me, or is that a probe point that goes to somewhere super duper important? Whoopsie. That's an RTC crystal, by the way, so that is an incredibly important component with incredibly important stuff. Wait, that's Ethernet clock. Ah, Ethernet clock. You mean that thing that is completely worthless and useless and a waste of energy to even look for on the schematic because this is a MacBook Air? Oh, I get it now. Okay, cool. Nah. Should I? Yeah, I should run a wire. Fuck me and my idiocy. Okay. See, like, I can't go there like, Lewis, did you ever rip the clock circuit off the... No! I don't think I did. I wasn't scraping that hard. I don't think I ever touched it, so I'm probably... No. See, when you do something wrong, when you fuck some shit up, you gotta own it. You really have to own it. It doesn't not happen because I don't think I scraped hard. I was doing what I usually do. I don't believe I did anything. Because you, yeah. Techs who watch this, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Everybody lies, and they all convince themselves of this horseshit. It's just a defense mechanism. It's natural to people. Even really good, kind-hearted people are lying pieces of shit when it comes to breaking their own technology. The nicest person in the world turns into a complete lying piece of shit when it comes to their technology. That. Oh. I'm trying to tin the board so I can attach a wire there. You may say, Lewis, it's easy if you remove the crystal. Yeah, because that's exactly what I want to do. I want to remove a crystal from a 6-year-old liquid-damaged motherboard that's sitting right next to some 6-year-old MCP or 6-year-old CPU. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm planning to do. No, thank you. All right. At this point, yeah, that's good. Now, for a wire... Why don't you just leave well enough alone? Like this, I do this sometimes. I try to do these things to fix problems that don't actually exist yet, and I wind up fucking myself. I talk about this in a lot of these videos. Like the work that in order for there to be consumer confidence in what we do, we have to do stuff that actually lasts. And doing stuff that lasts is not always about fixing the primary problem. It's also about fixing every other problem that you didn't anticipate having, that somebody never told you that they wanted you to deal with. But if anything goes wrong, it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. What's going to happen is they're going to come back, and who are they going to yell at? That fucking repair guy. It's always going to be the fault of that fucking repair guy. And in many cases, it actually is the fault of that fucking repair guy. But if we're going to get people to believe us when it's not, then we have to do work to a standard that, you know, we want our own stuff repaired to. So, sometimes I try and fix shit that may, at the time, probably not be broken. Sometimes stuff that actually isn't broken until the second that I touched it. Yes, I'm just tinning the wire over here. Yeah, that's not good. We can do better than that. Alright. A nice tinned wire. I shove this under the crystal because if I could, that would be a dream. Let's see. Yeah, that's a pipe dream. Never mind. That is a pipe dream. Alright, so we're going to try and arrange this at a nice angle. Oh, fuck, you can't see any of that. Crap. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have this right over here. Just shove this shit. For all I know, that it's just a test point, and it is going to the other side of the board in some other V, and I'm totally wasting my time. There's a very good possibility of that being true. This microscope ring light thing has been screwing up for a while now. It keeps falling. I think that's its reaction to being burned by the Weller WHA 900. You're only allowed to burn your microscope light a certain amount of times before it doesn't work anymore. It's probably a... I'm just kind of curious if there's a union for microscope lights that have been repeatedly burned by people like me. Okay, so now we turn the board around and you'll see that there's a connection for what I'm looking for right over here. So this is one of those things where you get to play the game of find the resistor in the random pile of mess. So I'm going to go start with that little diode because this little diode is going to, right over here, three-legged, is big and is going to stick out easily. From there I'm going to have these two caps, and next to the two caps I'm going to have this. Let's see if I can find my way there. Okay, you guys help me out. So diode, great, that gets me to the two caps, which then gets me to the right side of this resistor over there, which I'm going to tin, and then attach that too. And then we're going to try to attach the resistor to there. I'm going to route the wire around the crystal so it's tight. Okay, go around here. Go through you. Go. That looks like a Tetris. This looks like a Tetris block. All right, go through there. You want the wire to be tight and nicely on the board. Okay. Here we go. Now you got a scrape over there. A little bit of scraping. A little bit of fluxing. Fluxing, not what you thought you heard. Don't be a pervert. Oh, this is going to be a bitch. This is supposed to be a no backlight video. How the fuck did I end up here? Scraping a little piece of wire by an Ethernet clock. Oh man, I'm a fucktard. And why? What the hell? That's not even what I'm supposed to be connecting it to. I'm connecting it to this resistor. The fuck is wrong with me? Dumbass. Not one of my best videos. If I had business sense, I wouldn't upload this. If I had business sense, I would not upload this. Luckily, I don't. I don't mind if you see when I fuck things up. You should see when I fuck things up. It'll make you feel better about when you fuck things up. That's the thing. You got all these people that refuse to put out any less than perfect content. There are two problems with trying to put out the no imperfect content. A, you're never going to try anything. Therefore, you're never going to have a chance to succeed because you never even bothered trying. And B, it's kind of boring to watch people that are always perfect, that always succeed. The thing I like about YouTube and about doing this is sometimes, being able to connect with or identify with the audience, or having the audience members identify with me. And who identifies with somebody who has never made a mistake in their entire life, Like, I don't know, I just kind of think that would be boring as hell. Who really wants to watch, somebody who's never done something stupid, ever? That would make a really boring-ass video, in my opinion, Maybe I could be wrong. I'm always open to the idea that I'm wrong, but... Like, if I never screwed anything up... I mean, when I watch these videos from people that never screw anything up... Like I just screwed up over there when I exposed that section of that wire. If I watch videos from people who never screw anything up, it kind of makes me sad, because what it makes me think when I see that shit is, gee, how am I ever going to do this, or how am I ever going to expect to be successful? But somebody who's way ahead of me is not even successful. Yeah. Got that going. Okay, we fixed that, and yeah. Am I going to say this is the nicest thing in the world? Not exactly, but it'll probably wind up in the ultrasonic cleaner later. But I mean, if it works. I mean, I shouldn't say that out loud before I test it, but see, the wire is tight. That's the thing that's important. I was showing that to a student today who ran a bunch of wires, and I felt bad because he had like 12 of them, and I made him redo them because it has to be tight. It has to be to the point where I can't hook this. Like, I shouldn't be able to unhook this with my fingernail. I shouldn't be able to, if I run something over this and move it, that it now has slack. There should be no slack on any of your wires. Anyway, let's see let's see, did I fuck up the entire board, or is this something that's actually going to work again? All right, time to turn off the noisy stuff. Do I have a clue? Core 2 Duo. I gotta say, one thing about Apple people is, somebody out there is actually willing to pay me to fix a Core 2 Duo. That's like, besides the people that own those really old ThinkPads, that that are never gonna buy something new because ThinkPad, Lenovo's been ruining the ThinkPad. Besides those people, I can't think of anybody else who'll be willing to fix a Core 2 Duo. Or like, I shouldn't say that, but like groups of people that will be willing to, I've had a lot of people ask me all these questions about the T61, and it's, don't get me wrong, I understand why you like the machine. I'm not going to get involved in helping you with that because every single part available has not been made. I mean, every single part that goes into that machine has not been made for like almost 10 years now. So my ability to fix it properly is severely hindered, which is going to be a nightmare. So as you can see, it turns on, and I get a light in the screen. So it turns on, which I'm surprised about because of what I did, and it also has a light in the screen, which is cool. And that's that for today. And as always, I hope you learned something, and hopefully watching me fuck things up by being an idiot has encouraged you yourself to try to do this stuff, because as you can see, it doesn't matter how many years you've been doing something, you're still not going to get it perfect. What matters is not getting everything perfect. What matters is making it right when you fuck it up. If you fuck something up, it's on you to try and make it right. You're not always going to be able to make it right. You're not always going to be able to make it 100% right. But at the very least, put some effort in to not be a piece of shit. Because a lot of people will say you can't do something until you know everything about it. To be honest with you, that's not how the world really works. The way the world works is when you when you screw up, you do your best to own it and fix it. And this little pen helps me a lot with that.